My name's Alyssa Fryer, and I'm an Adams County resident. I'm here to talk about my nieces and my brother-in-law. On May 2nd, they were in a really terrible high-speed accident on I-76 and 96th Avenue. And they were going about 70 to 75 miles an hour and ended up rear-ending a trailer carrying about a ton of sod is what I heard. And their injuries were absolutely horrific. The fire department had to extricate my then 12-year-old niece from the front seat of the truck. Her injuries were severe. She broke something on every limb. She broke both of her hands. She dislocated her hip. Lots of internal damage. And my youngest niece, who was 9 at the time and actually turned 10 in the hospital, she suffered major facial injuries as a result of hitting the center console of the truck because she was laying down in the back seat. My brother-in-law was driving. He had major rib fractures and several rib breaks, a fracture to his spine and other major injuries. It was horrific. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. During a time of, COVID and craziness and all that stuff anyway, there were a lot of people that were there to help, but it's amazing what's been done by first responders and the fire department. As I said, they had to extricate my then 12-year-old niece from the front seat of the truck. It didn't even look like a truck anymore from all the pictures that we've seen. My oldest niece ended up spending 30 days in the hospital. It was, I'd imagine that anybody would feel awful about seeing a child in that state. My youngest niece ended up having to have have a major facial surgery, and she had to lay flat on her back for a long time because she ultimately developed spinal fluid leakage. Multiple surgeries, lots of therapy, but we knew that there were people that cared. We had the fire department reach out to us for updates. They wanted to know how the girls were doing. There was actually even a fundraiser that we did after the girls got out of the hospital, and the fire department actually came with one of the engines and brought the girls new shoes, which is it was really heartwarming. It was really heartwarming and just amazing that these guys that don't know my family put themselves on the line and are willing to do whatever they can to make sure that everybody's getting what they need and that the girls were getting the best possible care. They brought shoes to them because my youngest niece was actually really upset because her shoes had to be cut off in the ambulance because she broke her femur. But they showed up, they asked me what kind of shoes, what size shoes they could bring, and joined us for the fundraiser, had some pizza with us, took lots of pictures. And since then, again, we've had people constantly reaching out to us to just see how the girls are doing. What do they need? What does our family need for support? And I don't think it would have been the same scenario. I don't think we would have had the same outcome had the fire department not been there so quickly. I don't think that we would have the same quality of life that we have for the girls now and that we have for my brother-in-law, because they did have adequate emergency support almost immediately.